this video, I'll explain these three problems for you. As we look at the first one, we might want to try to factor the top and the bottom. So as I look at the top, I notice that both of the numbers here are divisible by 4. So I could factor out a 4 from each of the terms, leaving me with an x, because 4 times x would give me the 4x, minus 6, because 4 times 6 would give me the 24 that was originally in the problem. The denominator, however, represents a problem for us because the only way to factor two terms would be by a difference of squares. The reason that's a problem here is because the 24 is not a perfect square. So I can't factor by that method. In fact, this would be my final answer here because the numerator is factored and the denominator can't factor. Let's look at the second problem here, 1 divided by x to the negative 8. When we have negative exponents, we can make them positive by putting them under 1. Now, if we remember how to divide fractions, we remember that we can change this division to a multiplication by flipping the second fraction. So in essence, this becomes 1 times, now we flip the second fraction, and 1 times anything would give us x to the 8th. There is my final answer. The last problem asks us to rationalize the denominator. So I'm going to rewrite this division as a fraction. And the idea of rationalizing a denominator is that we want the denominator not to have any radicals in it. So we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by something so that this radical would be gone. And the way we do that is we do the 5th power of 2 times the 5th power of 2 times the 5th power of 2, not 5th power, excuse me, 5th root of 2. The reason we do it, notice now I have 5 5th roots of 2. And we must do the same to the numerator, so we'll go ahead and rewrite those on top here. The reason we want 5 of them is because of the 5th root, because now I have the 5th root of 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32 on my denominator. And in the numerator I have 4 on the outside, and the 5th root of 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. Now the benefit of this is that the 5th root of 32 in the denominator, that's 2. How did I know that? Well, because 2 times itself 5 times gave me 32. So the 5th root of 32 would have to be 2. So the bottom, notice that radical goes away and just leaves us with a 2 there. And then you can divide the 4 and the 2 here. And this would be your final answer.